He was a trailman and she was a church. Yeah. So, you know, so that it's great. Yeah. Cuts off 2 hours.
Does everybody have the agenda and the minutes and the other handout? Everybody got all 3 of these?
Yes, I think so.
This is one that we saw.
Explain me.
Yeah, yeah.
When somebody says, he says, you said, he says,
Yeah. I think everyone grab the bylaws. The draft of those.
And he says, I didn't see it.
They're, you know, generic, they're taking a combination of other cities. Get the bylaws.
You want it to.
Yeah, I did too.
Section of the charter.
Yeah, I mean, that's easy to do here.
Yeah.
For free.
Oh, really?
You get the word?
Yeah, we're streaming live now.
No,
Thank you.
what I'm saying is.
Oh, okay.
Show us how to do this.
Yeah, the only thing is
So when I use it.
Well, maybe that's.
Yeah, we're a little behind.
Right? Hi. Place for the audience.
That's why I love it. We got some of the cheat sheets already, it's very strong.
No, that was my husband's way of making me laugh.
Okay.
Yeah, very good.
Fast as
Okay,
well.
thanks for coming. So it's no problem. I was upset that they don't have a budget. 6:34 and we're calling the meeting to order. So let's stand and do the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the meeting, everybody.
Poland.
Here.
Dwyer.
Here.
Andrew Maynard.
Here.
Irwin. Here. Marucci. Nasri.
Here.
O'Neill. Parker.
Here.
Slawinski.
Here.
That's everyone, Madam Chair.
Okay. Next on the agenda is public comment.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
I will have to step away around 10 after 7 for about 15 minutes, 10 minutes to go do they're honoring the mayor of Hamtramck, who I served with for 8 years. Zoom game, and I wrote the proclamation to honor him, so I'm gonna step away, just kind of join that and then come back, so you guys, someone can pick up the little bit of slack, if something crazy should happen, just write it down.
Crazy like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, You don't have a roll call, right? I read that, I thought, just me or me, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, we don't have to do a roll call vote for everything.
For everything,
That's a
okay.
council rule, it's in the charter for the council.
So just in the beginning.
Remember that, it doesn't have to do that.
Yeah, so just roll call
You don't
in the
have to do,
beginning.
you can't just like all oppose, yay, you know, that kind of stuff.
Okay,
You can't do
now
that
it's
there,
easier.
you can do it.
Okay, roll up the second one. Okay. All right, so anything else, any public comment? No, okay, all right,
I'll say something. Just want to say, thank you, all of you, for doing this. It's really important, and I know how hard it is, to take time away from your family and to come to meetings like this and do this work. And I really appreciate this, because this definitely needs to be done, and I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want to introduce yourself, so in case people don't know who you are?
Amanda Hodges. I'm been a resident for all my life, graduated from Clausen. I am, well, not to be, but the director of the Christmas and Clausen craft show. I've been on the Clausen School Board for 7 years. If you really want to know, I've done Rotary, I've done the Optimist Club. I've helped the DDA when possible. I was the volunteer of the year for 2017 for the city of Clausen. And also, my husband's Matt, he is the former superintendent of Clausen. And plus I have 7 kids, and most of them have gone through and have graduated from the Clausen public school system. How's that?
That's awesome. Just wanted to be right.
7 kids.
Thanks for coming.
She's got a Clausen tattoo
All right, next on the agenda is, we are gonna look at the minutes from the 11:30 organizational meeting and approve them.
You need a motion to approve the minutes?
Yes,
I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the 11:30 meeting as written. Second.
okay. All in favor, say yay.
Yay.
All in favor, say yay.
Opposed,
Opposed, thank you.
all in favor, say aye, opposed, nay.
Okay.
Are there any nays? Do you have a concern?
I do, but I'll say, it's not, I mean, I.
Okay. Next on the agenda is new business. We are going to just have a discussion of the Charter Commission scope of interest. First thing is, we need to decide if we're doing a total rewrite versus a sectional review. We talked about that last meeting just a little bit, but I don't think we voted on it. And I think we're gonna have a discussion, and we should vote on what we're doing so that we kind of have it in stone.
Madam Chair, I had already passed out a missive that came in from Skip Massarone. Is that the way you pronounce his name?
He says that's the wrong meeting.
Massarone, and I got his name from Rob Booth. And Rob Booth is a municipal attorney. I've known for a number of years. Skip was chairman of the Macomb County Charter Commission. When Macomb County wrote their very first charter, where they got the county executive in it, and what have you, and I had an opportunity to talk with him on a couple of occasions, and he's agreed for pro bono to meet with the ad hoc committee and give us some guidance on what we might want to do relative to rewrite all those items that you're talking about, helping us craft the budget so we know what we're doing, how many meetings we might need to have. And he would do that pro bono. Now, he would do that without any strings attached as well. So I was hoping to be able to meet with him yesterday with the subcommittee, but Joe was able to make it, and Brad didn't care for it.
Do you mind if we talk about that when we get to C on the agenda? where we're kind of talking about the presentations and kind of what you learned on there.
Well, I mean, when you talk about total rewrite versus sectional review, this is very germane. This is exactly germane to what you're speaking to.
Well, right now, what we're gonna discuss is, does everybody, agree that we're just going to do a sectional review? And so let's vote on it. Do you have a
I mean, I just think that, overall, you know, even though there's some things to be changed, I think that the overall structure is probably a very solid basis. So I don't feel that like a complete rewrite would be necessary, as long as we're going to review all sections.
Okay, I think there needs to be a motion to say that we all agree.
It doesn't have to be, we all agree.
Well, that's the majority. Okay. Wait,
Well, I guess I misunderstood you. I agree, I don't believe we need a total rewrite.
okay, that really hasn't been discussed, so we wanted to get that out of
I understand that.
the way first.
Or do you,
Go ahead. What's the issue?
You may not be needing to be total rewrite or a section review. It's 6 to 1 and a half dozen the other. We don't need to completely rewrite the charter, I agree with that. But we need to have a section review of everything in the charter. We need to look at it, that's what the charter says.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is you get 6 to 1 and a half dozen the other. You're gonna be looking at the entire charter, but you're not gonna be able to tell the rewrite.
I think what you're saying, I think it needs to be more clearly defined, like,
Yes.
like when you say, I think what you're referring to when you say total rewrite is like the general structure.
Like scratch everything,
Yeah,
let's just start from the
Right,
beginning.
I think that's how I understood it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think keeping the structure as a guide is a good thing.
Here goes. Madam Chair, whereas the city of Clawson adopted its charter on April 23, 1940, and whereas the city of Clawson's charter has, with only a few exceptions, served the government and the people of this city well for more than 81 years, and whereas 81 years of the charter's use by the government and people of this city made the government and people of this city aware of certain flaws and shortcomings in specific language, phrases, and sections of the charter. Whereas those certain flaws and shortcomings are now familiar to current and former city government employees and officials, legal counsel, and members of the public, and whereas the people of the city of Clawson were so aware of the need to amend or correct these certain flaws and shortcomings in specific language, phrases, and sections of the city charter, and whereas the people of the city of Clawson elected to commence the review of the city charter in order to amend and correct these certain flaws and shortcomings, and whereas the people of the city of Clawson elected this commission and entrusted to it the work of amending and correcting any specific language, phrases, or sections of the city charter that aggravate or impede city government from carrying out its duties in service to the people of the city of Clawson. And whereas the people of the city of Clawson entrusted to this commission the responsibility to complete its work in the most effective and efficient manner, so that improvements to the city charter may take effect as soon as possible for the good of the people of the city of Clawson and the government that serves them. And whereas the people of the city of Clawson entrusted to this commission the responsibility to steward the people's energy, money, and time in the most cost-effective and efficient manner, I motion that this commission set as the objective and scope of its work a careful review of the existing city charter, leading to alterations, corrections, and revisions to specific language, phrases, and sections that a careful review shows to be necessary and proper to the betterment of the document, the functioning of city government, and the good of the people of Clawson now and in the future. Thank you.
I second that.
What he said. I think that what you said is the same thing that we said, so I believe that we're in the same ground.
Yeah, that requires the actual motion, is that last sentence. I motion that.
So all in favor?
I just have a question.
Oh, question.
So this is one general question that's gonna come up now a little bit now. In the future, as one person, I'm not voting on anything unless it's in front of me. And I think if any of you don't adopt the same policy, I'm gonna just on my part. But it just came to me. I just showed up here. The same with, I've never, any board that I've ever run, been a member of, you put something in front of the daily meeting, my comment is basically, I ain't voting. Because I haven't had it. and I can kind of review it, so you know, I may or may not agree with this, just like the draft of the bylaws. You gotta give us this stuff ahead. Whenever I work for a board, I've always,
Okay. That's a good point. That's a good point.
they come to my email. They're like,
You
I
have the
think
email.
there may be, because your email is bouncing back from my
Then- then
email
someone has
every
that.
time.
It's got it wrong.
I got, it was a group email, and it was the wrong notes on it, and I think that's bad. Everyone else got this, got email.
Yeah.
This is the first I've seen all the material that's.
Yeah, that's why, but
Okay.
in the future, I think you'll be fine.
The minutes and the agenda did go out on Friday morning.
That's what I wondered. Thursday night.
No, it was like Wednesday night or Thursday, it was pretty early.
Then I want to straighten the email out issue.
It
One
went,
way or another.
but that's my, I think I tagged on an email that was sent out about the masks and responded with it all, and I think that email was on that. That's what it was. I think that's right.
Yeah,
Well,
and that's something that you're gonna talk about tonight too.
One year is great.
So, okay.
Good, you know what, then that's solved.
Yes, it's
It's
really
really
what it's all, yeah.
I didn't realize.
I didn't realize it never got to you.
Yeah, I never got to it.
Okay,
And I will say, hey, that's for me, the jump on this later, but that's why I think like a workshop meeting structure is good, because you kind of discuss what you're gonna talk about, and then vote on it in the next meeting, and it gives everyone time to.
That's exactly what I'm used to doing. Just- That way no one makes a decision with, here, trust me, this is. what
Right,
it
I mean,
says.
getting a packet a few days ahead of time, I think is also acceptable, but it is kind of nice to have a discussion before the voting.
That's what I wanted to say.
so would you like to wait to vote so you have time to?
No, you guys gotta go. Don't delay for me. I mean, I believe that it's something that gets bounced back, and it's gonna be solved with this meeting.
Based on what I'm hearing, I believe that he, said in like an eloquent way, what we're all saying. We're all kind of looking at a just careful, complete review of the existing document.
Anybody have any other questions? Okay, so all in favor?
We're talking about the last paragraph on this.
The whole thing.
What's a resolution?
is a resolution, the motion is a.
This is a resolution, not a motion. Motion. It makes it always a commission secretary check. Right, August? The very last paragraph,
Well, that's the motion.
that's the motion.
It's the final motion, but it's
It's
a,
actually the whole resolution.
it's the whole resolution. I don't think anything else in the language conflicts with the motion. It's all supporting.
The keyword, careful review. Yeah. Sounds good. The whole review of the existing document, and making alterations, corrections, and revisions. Not going to be the other.
Okay, so all in favor? Raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye. And all that opposed? Okay, next on the agenda. Solicit priorities from each commissioner to tabulate and present at next meeting.
That I just gleaned off of the MML stuff. About, what
Yeah,
we
you're
have
trying
on the
to keep
first
us
agenda. So I was kind of
rolling.
grabbing some of those things about what things we should discuss in the organizational meetings. Basically, the organizational meeting split into what things you hear about what we gotta, what we wanna cover. So that's, I'm responsible for the last agenda item as well.
Well, that kind of goes back to what we just discussed, like, do we start with like the biggie, like election stuff that cause our recent debacle, or do we start at the top? Right now?
I think we ought to start page one with that. That's my belief.
Okay.
It's not gonna trivialize the election thing.
No,
I know
for
you're-
sure.
But I think if we do it otherwise, I think we'll just be jumping around.
I can, yeah. That's just mad, but
Do you want us, I'm gonna review them at the 3 items, he's gonna review them at the 6, and we'll end up with 5 or 1. Should we get these to August ahead of time so that we can listen here versus coming here and surprising people with my 5?
That's a great, if you're
Otherwise,
okay with
or
that,
if we're gonna go in order, it's just a matter of getting it together for your own use as a tool when we get to the section that you want to see work done.
I just want, because I'm a big believer in getting you guys information ahead of time so you can say you're right or you're wrong, or I agree with some of it or none of it, versus I'm here to spring supplies.
yeah, don't be afraid to calculate. What do you want?
Can we get some hard copies of the charter, so we can mark it out?
Well, I guess you came in and asked me to print one. I can print some full-blown copies, that's,
I think that would be very helpful and allow for him, well, especially if you make all copies, then you're not gonna have like weird margin differences and hey, Joe, what do you think about page 27 and page 27?
I can hit the button while I'm on my Zoom meeting.
That'd be great, too, that'd be fantastic. I should try to do.
Is that the, August, is that the entire city charter? Like,
56 pages. That's not bad.
Okay.
Since you're asking August for some stuff, ask me for 3 whole bunch.
No, and then I think at each meeting, we can say like, okay, next meeting, we're gonna discuss section, whatever. And I think that'll be more systematic way to go about it. And then, of course, we're all gonna look at it.
We have a budget. We do talk about it, just that people should be provided with a 3-week budget.
I'm serious. I mean, that's, I have plenty of extra ones. I'll do this, so I'll go check your closet. Make it a lot easier for folks.
So would it behoove us to throw, like, put everything out there for everything at once? Or, discuss our priorities by section? I mean, maybe our priorities per section. I mean, we want to come in and say, okay, well, 7 months from now, we'll be discussing this, and this is what I want to talk about. I don't, do we want to throw things in the ring that are down the road? I guess is what I'm getting at. I think it might be like, maybe deal with it section for section, and we can come up with the things that we feel, our things that we feel are pertinent to the section that we are addressing at that time.
Yeah, and I think our opinions might change too, like once we start going through a couple of sections, like maybe, something that, we would have said needs to be changed to whatever section, would have been kind of like solved in the previous meeting, so maybe it's premature to like discuss those.
And we may learn things, I mean, I'm far from knowing everything about the charter.
Right.
I'm not 100% I do, but I may learn things along the way that make me think about something else differently, or, change the outcome of something else.
There's 19 sections, and some of them are true, one talks about the border. We don't think that's really changed now. So.
You want to go to World
You
Wide
could
Web
try.
or something?
Everybody cut it in there.
So
So I have a question for Press. When you look at the charter, at the bottom of every section, there's some
We should put that law statement.
there's some laws that are in there, and I don't want to assume anything. That means there could be laws that haven't been updated yet.
No, anything you do have on the chart.
But I'm saying, but there could
I
be
suppose depends on where
laws.
you're looking at as far as the chart is concerned. If you're looking on Unicode, everything there will be updated. I don't know where you find it, because I presume we have it also on our website. And-
Yeah, I think that's where I got it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what that looks like, to be perfectly honest with you, I haven't seen that, but Paulson has it for the ordinances as well as the charter on Unicode, which is basically a website system for all municipalities that hold theirs. And every time there's a new update or a new case that affects any provision of any charter or code of ordinances or some ordinance out there, it automatically gets updated throughout the system. So
Okay.
we would have current statements, those statements, they would see, specifically would see would be current. That goes to the point that, yeah, there's a lot of law that affects our charter. Our charter can be concerned with respect to some parts of it is outdated. And those parts would be amended as a matter of course, I think would make sense.
Okay, so if things are updated after we print them, we need to make sure that we go back and just confirm that nothing's been added or updated.
So if I understand their statement, I think we're always going to be a step behind the times. By definition, at the end of this exercise, there'll still be updates in the law. Right? There'll be some court of appeals case that goes out there and something that you work diligently in for the course of God knows how long will be undone just like that. And
So there just comes a time where we say, okay, it's as updated as we
Yeah.
can get it.
I think that's absolutely fair. At one point or another, you'll have to put some timelines for your own standard, if nothing else, in your work, so that at one point or another, you bring it to a happy conclusion. best work possibly you can do. Amend only what's absolutely necessary and what requires amendment to be the rest, because it is a good little charter, ultimately, the bones of it are actually perfectly fine. It just requires some updates that any other work that has been around for 80 years.
All right, thank you. Okay, anybody have any questions or? Okay. Everybody should now have a copy of the consideration of the draft charter commission bylaws. There should be 3 pages. And so obviously this is just a consideration that we're gonna go through it, or should we view it and go through it and talk about it later, or?
My brain, some of it came from Traverse City, some of it came from Port Huron. A lot of it came from what we already talked about, what we wanted for structure. There's nothing in here that is earth shattering. The order of business is something that you might want to talk about. A few things, voting is pretty standard. There's the idea about having everything right in a week ahead of time before you vote on it. I think is something that we should, we're just talking about that. How far ahead do you want to do workshops and then vote on it? I think that's the minimum. The minimum amount of people that can be here to pass something. I think some of those things have to be, I think that's common practices, best practices, to have that stuff. Then if those things can be voted at the time of, we have a full room, and you can say, well, it wasn't weak, but this is a good idea, this is the time, let's change that word from should to shall, that kind of stuff. There's provisions to do that.
And we can do that at any time.
Yeah.
Down the road. Okay, so, do we have to? We have to make a motion to do that, right?
To do,
Motion to, is it
Yeah.
fine if we're gonna approve this tonight?
it's up to the board.
I mean, should we just do a quick run through it, not like word for word, but sort of to see so that everyone understands what they're looking at?
Yes.
Later?
You want to do that? Okay, we can do that. So how many minutes are there? Well, okay. So the first rule of charter commission, if everybody wants to read that. The way that I understand that is we shall operate in accordance with first, the Open Meetings Act, second, the Home Rule Act, and then third, Robert's rules.
I don't see Robert. Sorry, we're running, we're smart.
Yeah, it's like, it's like further down.
Laws over rules, we're in operations. Yeah, remember, Robert's rules isn't law. It's just, this is,
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Different one. Okay. I haven't, has anybody had, I haven't really had any experience with any of these, so. Is there, don't they all like work together? I don't really foresee us really needing to continue really digging deep into them. And is this mostly just me because I'm the one that's,
yeah, look, every group ends up having its culture. If it was a strict Robert's Rules of Order, nothing would get done in city council. They all talk, they all never chit chat. People aren't strictly recognizing, there hasn't been an issue, people talking over each other. That's what that's designed to stop. Every group has its culture, its way of working, its way of getting things done. That will naturally happen. As a clerk, I learned to not fight that. Kind of let people do their business as it flows. But Robert's Rules of Order is there because that's how you're going to make motions. That's how you're going to, count the votes. That's stuff has to happen. But that order has to be there.
okay.
already discussed that really in our first meeting, like how, some of these are legally required and then, yeah, I think we're good on that, and then also we'll see what we've done. We've already established that and elected the chair and vice
As much
chair.
as I want to scratch that third paragraph.
As required by law, so. There's no.
Yes.
Should we, you want to specifically note that?
The law does that. Yeah, Jennifer might be the first office office.
Right, I just think, I don't know if you want to make the city clerk
If you want to have a representative,
representative, because then we know we feel like the city clerk, is supposed to be the representative. As long as his assistant. I guess it's true as it sounds. I think if we all have that, we know the city clerk, he can do his role.
or clerk's office representative.
Whatever it makes sense
Yes.
for who, whatever.
Designee, whatever you, we feel comfortable with.
You have an assistant clerk?
I have a deputy, he's a deputy clerk, Jennifer Tomlinson, is much better looking than I am.
I agree.
I agree.
I know that she's on the list of all council. meetings.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
roundabout, I said, over there.
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
I agree with you. Or clerk's office doesn't.
Okay, so we good with that? Yes. What about the meetings? We kind of discussed that we're gonna be here, second and fourth Tuesdays. The time may change.
The only thing different here is this says 24-hour notice. Open Meetings Act requires 18. I think 24 is better for our sake. 18 is just, I mean, it's not a ton of difference, but I think it's enough difference that people could get,
Make the math easier, 24.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
That makes sense. It's like during the workday before we touch the meeting session.
Yeah, that's interesting, so it can be called by Laura or any three members of us. That's typical, I assume.
Because I think the mayor would call you or 2 minutes.
Yes. No, you can change that. If you want it to be 2, you can. Just because there's so many of you, the way that other cities have done it was 3. And this is just, like I said, I didn't reinvent the wheel here.
I mean, we have 3 years to do this now, but I wanted to take that.
Right.
And we already have 2 meetings a month, I did not foresee us, correct me if I'm wrong, calling a bunch of stuff. on meetings.
No, it needs to hit a
It's still our
deadline.
meeting year, so there's gonna be no charter emergencies. Well, except for the one that we're already, but that one's already, you know,
We hear less words there.
that one's already open, like, you can't take that.
That's great. I like
Well,
charter two supervisors. Yes. That's great.
I forgot to mention, we're recording this session. See over the camera over there. We're gonna see how it turns out. And see if it sounds good.
And then taxpayers, that's a good call.
We'll see. Okay. Rule 5, public comment. We might stick with 4 minutes.
That's a guy.
The good guy, we can change it later if somebody
You can
comes
say,
in.
you tell me it's within 4 minutes. I don't suspect you guys are gonna hit the gong.
So then we're gonna move on.
Okay, anything else for add before we do it later? But, roll call. Did we do meeting order?
We skipped quorum with us.
Oh, we discussed that last meeting, didn't we?
Yeah.
We said 5.
That's that one more than half, this is where it's.
Yeah. Let's see.
That's standard.
Um,
The order of business is, of course, completely changeable as a guide. Those are things you have to have, you can add more to it.
I think we said last time we were gonna have a second public comment section
And that's fine.
at the end, right?
It's on the agenda,
Yeah, it's on the
but I
agenda.
don't believe it's in the order now. Just,
Yeah.
yeah, that should be it.
So we can take the order that does everybody like the order that we did it? On the agenda?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah. How do you roll call and public comment?
And I think that agenda, discussion next agenda items is pertinent so that people know what to bring with them to the next one. Should take that 5-10 minutes at the end of the meeting and say, all right, this is now, based on this meeting, this is what we're coming with next week. So I also know what I have to send you guys and get everything together, so.
That makes sense. Okay. Now we talked about workshops, so we're going over Rule 8. How does everybody foresee that working, the workshops? Before the meeting that we have?
What I was talking about is basically, you bring up the school board, but I think that it works well. It's basically every other meeting is a workshop. So like the second Tuesday of the month, we do the designated workshop meeting. And so it's different than the way the city council does it, where that's more of a discussion-based meeting where we have an agenda and of course do those things, but then the actual voting, if we have a presentation or something, then the fourth Tuesday of that month would be like the voting meeting where we kind of actually have action items and vote on them. So we don't have to do it that way, that would slow it down a little bit, but then that could also limit our need for attorneys if they're, they have to be present at every meeting. Can we be present for workshops? Or I guess that makes more sense because then they ask them questions, and then it would be like, we basically be deciding what we're gonna vote on, and then actually take care of business. Which would make sense because you leave the workshop with all the information, and then you can look things up separately if you want it for your own peace of mind. Dig in and then have that information for you at the next meeting.
So I have a question, are workshops going to be subject to the open meetings?
Sure.
Posting of meeting?
Absolutely. Just like, minutes
Should it say this?
minutes are very generic, we discussed this.
Should it say that underneath rule?
It does say that they have to post this like a regular meeting.
And maybe it's a kind of short thing, comply with all the requirements of, rule 1. Or was there, let's say workshops. I didn't think I saw it.
Yeah.
Talk about how they can call.
Workshops should be posted along with the meeting notice for the sake of public input. It is subject to open meetings act.
I mean, that's just one idea, I don't have to do it that way, but it, satisfies, your question of maybe we have ample notice for these things before we vote on it, and then it also, allows for moving on.
My only concern is that then you can't vote on anything, whether it be anything at all, like a motion to change the next meeting time or anything, because it's a workshop.
Okay.
So just because you have a meeting, doesn't mean you have to vote on anything. You can just discuss.
That's true.
I
Then-
just worry that something else might come up that we can't make official. And you only meet twice a month anyway.
No, that's a great point. So we could almost make it like just as a general rule, and then we almost see the bylaw, but that we don't vote on anything until the second meeting after the problem. So, I mean, in general, like for something that is bigger. But we can- I mean, I assume we can do that in accordance with Robert's rule, like, a matter comes up and we discuss it, like, people can just say, we shouldn't vote on that this week, we can vote on it next meeting, and that way we will have time to research and think about it.
The only caution I have to that is, let's say we decide next Tuesday or 2 Tuesdays from now, it's not a good meeting time. You're gonna be at work, I'm gonna be out of town. We say, okay, let's just switch the meeting.
Sure.
I think we should be allowed to vote on issues as they have.
Cancel the one falls on December 23rd or July or something.
Let's make a special meeting on Saturday, because we're going to do 4 choices. We'll let it all go at one time. I guess I caution, if you just only vote on a particular day of the month, it's really going to limit our ability to move forward.
Julia, did you have something?
That's how I understood you wanted to do it.
No, that makes sense, now knowing that, I mean, it can slow things down, so that's.
Need to be
a good point.
handcuffed, that's all.
Yeah, so I guess it makes sense on what the other thing we were talking about earlier, just making sure we have anything written a week in advance.
Absolutely agree.
Whatever.
Absolutely. That's a must.
If we have something that is a significant amount of information or is going to need more, we can always say, we want to table final voting today.
Mhm.
And everyone's okay with that.
Julia, did you have something you want to add?
Just that we have special committees and workshop portion, it doesn't really disclose that we can't make decisions that day. So we do want to meet our people, to make those kind of decisions, just to be upfront. We commissioner comments where we can actually make decisions while we might be addressing certain things. So if we do see something that might be up for discussion, we can just take half of whatever we're doing first for the department and talk and discuss whatever we're going to do. Maybe if someone does have concerns, they we want to bring up and have the actual presentation ready. We could make a decision during that time. Not saying that you guys can't have any documentation and whatnot to put our beginning, but we can still make decisions on some of those workshop days if that's something that anybody is open to. Because it's still an really hard to be here together and actually make a decision.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree, I think I rescind my idea to do.
I don't think there's nothing. I don't
Well,
think
but
there's
yeah, it's not, it doesn't work for this sort of thing, because it won't.
Only because the word workshop denotes no business.
It's a term of art, obviously, in this world, so if this is correct, it will be limited to you if you want to limit yourself. If for no other reason, you want to have the ability to accomplish more, not less. And I think the tabling idea is perfectly appropriate. So don't limit yourself if at all possible, and this is one you have never done.
So we can use the word workshop almost the way the city council uses it, whereas if we're talking about a workshop, that would almost be a separate meeting that we call.
Correct.
To discuss something.
So and so is
Not-
only available on Thursday the 7th to come from Lansing to talk about something. We'll have a workshop and then we'll run at the next meeting. You know, that's where, that gives us the ability, and so only 7 of us or 6 of us or however many can be there, it still will happen.
So that we can get ad hoc basis, and we can use it.
Right, just leaves that out there and leaves that option.
That makes more sense in this case.
Okay, so we're good with that one? Let's move on to voting.
What's that? There's no 7. Ah,
Six,
Got it.
to 8.
and you win,
Both are for
you
me.
go get a bag of snacks out of the, session area.
You want to make sure you're paying attention, right?
So let's move 7, I'll change that. Good job. That means I cut something out of here. I thought it was relevant. I thought it was
Yeah.
relevant.
What was 7? 7 was the free tacos.
Yeah, it's taco budget.
Okay, so voting,
Both by proxy shall not be permitted, I assume that means like I can't tell, I think we'll get from this.
Right, you can't send your neighbor.
Can you attend these meetings by Zoom?
You can attend, you cannot vote. We're not under a state of emergency. That's if they have an issue with that right now with the planning commission. They have someone say, oh, yeah, I'll be there on Zoom. I'm like, remind her she can't vote. She can discuss and everything else you can't. It's just the way the state laws are right now. The state of emergency is like. It's very specific. Anyone, if you hear the yeas and nays, anyone can call for a roll call vote. It's not just the chair. But if you want it recorded, that's a Margaret's rules thing. We'll put it in here as well.
Can you call the question?
Yes, you can call the question and ask for it. too.
That's when everybody's going off in 7 different directions. Call the question, take a vote.
I have a question on 3. When do you send, when you have Tuesday, so you don't get us information by Tuesday. That seems like a lot.
Well, it's a better, it doesn't conflict then with my council deadline.
So you prefer that?
It's what it is.
I just want to know if that, because normally I do normally with the Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, it usually the Thursday before, it's the standards.
So I didn't know if that hinders you and then puts us at a disadvantage, like, hey, you couldn't get it out to us in time, and also now 3 weeks out. Whereas if we gave you 2 extra days, we can deal with it on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
So does that help you by us moving that date to, you will distribute the packet on Thursday?
Was it 5 days before?
It's 5 days. Does that
It
help you?
does help.
Then I think we ought to, that we have the week, as long as we have the weekend, then I think the responsibility is on us. But a week, I know is a lot, and all of a sudden, you know, people need time to review it, get to you and say, hey, I want this.
At the same time, I am sort of used to having to get the packets done on Thursday at, between 1 and 3, that's when it's hammer time. The agendas.
Exactly.
There's every Thursday.
Yeah.
It's like every other.
I'm comfortable with, I'm comfortable with the Thursday, because I think that gives us more time to get to you, and then you get to put the packet together versus we missed by a day, now we're gonna wait 3 weeks to deal with this issue. I don't want to wait 3 weeks. Giving you 2 days at the front of the process. So that's my thought on that.
Joe, which one was that you're talking about?
I'm talking about where, let's see, the fourth, no, 1, 2, 3, the 5th paragraph, all provisions, sections or matters, says he's gotta get this to a week ahead of time. Let me the Tuesday. And most people work on a Thursday, Friday deadline for an agenda and that stuff. And I'm just thinking, if he's gotta get this to us by Tuesday, and it doesn't come to him because we haven't gotten it to him, the attorney hasn't gotten to him, boom, we lost out. We won't be able to act on it the following meeting on Tuesday, we'll have to wait till, I'll just say Thursday, Tuesday of the month. Because he couldn't meet the Tuesday deadline, the first Tuesday of the
Oh, okay,
month.
that makes sense.
Yeah, if we're comfortable with it and we can do our homework, it gives him more time because he's preparing now, probably planning commission, building board, or field the city council.
Not all of it, but most of the big ones.
Right.
Is anybody opposed to changing that to Thursday, giving him 5 days prior to the meeting?
Every council I've ever worked with likes Thursday or Friday.
Every time it's been a week, they always complain that they couldn't get something to me on Wednesday.
Exactly, therefore we missed it, and now that deadline is
It's always, the complaints always come from the other side.
and then people walk into the meeting saying, here, start reading this, I want to know.
I want to have the agenda.
If that's better for you,
That's fine.
and we can work with it, then it's actually
I
better
can
for us.
write that into here. Does anyone have, what we will call it now? Yeah, okay.
Do you want to send it on Tuesday, you can.
Not, okay, Thursday's fine.
You close at 5:30, right?
Yes.
So you're gonna send it at 5:30.
It'd be like 3 o'clock. I'm still doing that crap at 5:29. So, good.
Okay, moving on, vacancies. So 5 members of the vacancy.
The vacancy shall be filled by a qualified elector.
This means you have to be registered over here. Qualified elector is a standard term.
That's something you did. So, just to understand, well, I don't really know less than 2 weeks, hopefully not. But I know that we have an odd number to avoid stalemates. What do we do in the event that somebody did choose to leave and we had 8 of us? Are we unable to move forward until we fill that vacancy?
So I'll let you know the answer based on this council.
No, it's gonna be better quorum. Yeah. That's gonna be still a matter of quorum.
Okay, so
Now, the votes
Usually
go
for
for,
voting, though.
yeah, votes for 4 and it dies. That's a no.
There's an answer to it.
got it.
But as far as selection of members, a whole different ball.
No, one
But
person
emotionally,
signing does not stop the ability to do business.
Should we add in some sort of provision that if there's a stalemate in, like, adding a new member, then Laura gets to pick them or something? Just to-
That would be by vote.
No.
I mean, I don't foresee us ending up in a situation like the council is in, but you never know, and we don't want to have 4 against 4 for
That's right.
an indeterminate period of time. There should be some sort of, if this happens, then,
But remember, that's only for that position. We
right,
may still vote 8-0 on every provision that we're reviewing. We just made deadlock on who's the 9th person. So hopefully there's still enough of us around the.
Well, rule 7 was that nobody is allowed to leave.
Do they doctor?
Play like a champion. The one part I think is interesting in the voting is that for the final charter, And I don't know if this is law, I did not look for it, it wants 6 votes instead of just the 5 majority.
That's one of the MCLs.
Is it MCL? Okay, I noticed that when I was putting it together, I'm like, there must be something deeper in why it's 6 votes before it gets kicked out of the commission, so.
Okay, so we're on cost removal.
So,
Every group has a, go ahead.
yeah, so this is a little problematic. I would recommend you stay away from this particular, because it has to do with, you're all elected here. So we're overcoming the rule of the legislature, you can't, actually don't have the authority to do so. So I think it was clear of this, the problem arises, if a problem arises of such magnitude, we deal with it then, if we need to adopt the rule, then we don't necessarily have the authority to get it.
I can take the attorney's advice on that one. So it's straight, yeah, it's actually Rule 10.
I agree. Only the governor. That's exactly right. Only the governor.
Yeah, that's what we have in our charter that the council.
Yeah, we don't have it, council doesn't have the authority, it has it with respect to the library board, I think specifically stated, otherwise it doesn't necessarily have it from the board. But again, for the board itself, to remove a member who is elected, by the elected, that's just.
And I'll tell you, charters across the state have these cost removals in their charter to try to kick off council members, and it doesn't help us.
But we have language in our charter that's exactly what the governor has. And that's how we got rid of the mayor.
Okay, how about number 11? Amendments to the rules of procedures, just goes through, let's see.
It says 2/3 votes to change this.
Maybe 6 votes.
Was there another change?
So, you got 4. Otherwise, it says 4, 3, it's kind of weird, isn't it?
Well, mine has 2, 2, 2, 2, 2,
Yeah.
3.
1 of 3, 2 of 3,
Oh,
3 of
okay.
3, and all 7, 4.
But there's real, I
Again,
have 3
I
pages.
plagiarized this, a lot of it, so.
It was
4.
okay.
Isn't that weird?
That's
So my
point.
question is
Why
there
are
really
we
just
smart?
3
That's
pages?
not what
I
it
think
is.
Oh, yeah, single size. You know, it's a single size.
So we got no 7.
Oh, so I'm- that's what it was. That's fine.
Oh, there's a further question that goes back to when we were talking about notification and communication and email addresses and stuff. You had mentioned we were going to do something that is awesome email addresses. Is that a thing that's happening?
Whenever after we adopt this, if you want me to talk about that before the attorney talks, I'd be happy to address it. I have good news as far as emails and as far as reporting, but decisions have to be made by the body.
But,
I can talk about that before we do that.
okay, so should we vote on this or should we wait until the revisions are made and then vote on it?
Probably.
So that'll go on old business for next meeting.
Okay, if we want to talk about, if we want to talk about the emails, do we make that a new business or do we just go, do we do that under commissioner comments?
Wherever you want to do it, you tell me.
I don't know what matters. I guess we'll just move on to commissioner comments.
Oh, we got,
Oh.
you got another big one.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, right.
After that, okay.
So obviously, you make, I think that's one of the important decisions that you'll make for your own sakes will be, having the attorney present and selecting somebody that will be, here to assist you with the process. I think it's, the right attorney will do a great job for you, to assist you in getting this done in a logical fashion quickly. Will properly guide you with respect to current law that has affected our charter, properly guide you with respect to what we should not bother with at all, what should be amended. I was, was happy to hear, I'm sorry I missed last time, I was happy to hear we gave that opportunity. It's a perfect way to go out there and actually solicit some of this information and find who some candidates that you may wish to consider and bring forth to the body. I think the one by Mr. Lewis, with respect to sickness or only perfectly appropriate. I think any attorney that you consider should probably come in, because they're gonna have an ongoing relationship with you, should come in and have a quick chat with you, a quick presentation, to let you know about their experience. You might be so that way of document that, obviously. Come forth, give you a little bit of the background and their thoughts on, their experience, their thoughts on how they would proceed, how they would assist you going forward. Since we talked about SIP, I recommend a few names, people that I know do this a lot. Obviously, Steve Massaroni, and so Neil talks about someone that I've known all my professional career. Excellent guy, excellent attorney, been around for a long time. It's simply somebody that would be absolutely helpful. One of the considerations that you're going to have, looking forward to, important to you is obviously costs. You have $20,000 in your budget. That when it comes to attorney fees, particularly for endeavors such as this, it's going to go by very, very quickly. So once, at one point or another, we will present your wishes for an attorney to counsel, hoping to get, their license for some more funds or appropriate funding. If we're talking about current rates, you're never going to find anybody under $300 an hour. It's not going to happen. I think for purposes of this kind of exercise. So as you can imagine, if you're keeping your meetings at an hour and a half, you're going to be going pretty quickly through, that $20,000 So it's necessary though. I think the attorney needs to be present at all times. It'll shorten the workload. So I don't know if you've talked to them, but if you haven't really spoken to anybody else or spoken to individuals, but obviously, I think the recommendation to bring them here on the pro bono basis, just to have a presentation at one point or another at some point of the workshop or a similar situation, I think makes perfect sense. I think because they'll be working with you, so you want to have some sort of input as to what that is.
And understanding their approach to it, something that's going to make sense to us, something that we can work with, I think is important.
Yeah, the detail on it is just that I think that split that you had in the agenda with respect to total rewrite the succession review, almost sort of like a false premise in a good sense, not in a negative sense, because you of course will have a systematic review of the charter, but you will find, as I have found over the course of the end of the charter, that a lot of the sections that, if you have any slight issues here or there, you're not going to touch. They're work perfectly fine. They're working in the parameters. And the attorney will be able to tell you, listen, this makes perfect sense. Don't waste time here. Borders, of course, one of those. But even other areas that are substantive that we don't have elections. We have a chapter on elections. You'll have no say-so whatsoever. It's all governed by state law at this point, and has been for a long time. So but I think you're right. An attorney, whoever presents you, I think it makes sense to have somebody present their approach to it, what they've done, the work they've done in the area, and something that, because we know as attorneys, we will know in our mind, any attorney can produce this new charter, 56 pages within a weekend of a new charter, but it's not our goal. It won't be the attorney's role, it'll be your role. So it's how you take whatever advice and who that person ought to be.
So a couple of things I found out since our last meeting. One is City of Europe, there were probably 4 or 5 cities, a couple of gross points at charter revisions, Auburn Hills at the charter revision. Well, I shouldn't say charter, had questions regarding the charter amendment. They want charter revisions. City of Dearborn was the only one that was able to track down. They actually have it as part of their charter, 06 or 07. They amended their charter by putting a provision that says every 12 years we're going to go to the voters and ask if there should be a charter revision or amendment, and they approved it now, and so they set up a charter commission that people voted on, and They handle it, they have in-house attorneys, they will handle the charter revision / amendment process strictly in-house. So by luck, I called, I work in Macomb County, so I don't know any of the Macomb County players, so I called what I think is probably the largest municipal firm in Macomb County, it's O'Reilly Van City. Kurt Hughes obviously probably would dispute that. But I happened to, I said, give me the municipal law department. So they connect me and I reached Don Denault, who happens to be the one who wrote the Macomb County Charter. So I talked to him about a week ago. I said, we're interested in having you come, give me a letter of interest so that way I can share it. He didn't get it. So I called him in today. I said, you're coming up with a letter of interest or not. So as soon as I get it, I'm going to share it. I called 2 other firms, which I don't want to mention because they're prejudice people against them. They're fine firms, but apparently they're so busy they don't have time to call me back. I'm going to front calls again for a while and go a little bit higher up the food chain. But they're municipal firms that handle most of municipalities. One is in Livonia and the other is the Party Hills. So I want to come through because I do think I have hired attorneys in the past. I really think if we're going to hire an attorney, he or she has to come sit here, respond to questions from all 9 of us, and make sure we're satisfied. I think that thing with Skip would be the best thing up front. So he can tell us what to look for, not what not to look for, the process that Macomb County went through, especially since he wants to do it free. Is he a potential person that would come and want to be interviewed for selection as attorney?
If you read the last paragraph of this thing, he says that there's no strings attached.
Okay, that's even better. And if we want to invite him in to be a potential attorney, this is more than that.
I mean, I was on the phone with him for about 15 minutes. And then in 15 minutes, he hit, there's like a prize fighter. Right, left, there's no fluff. You gotta do this, give yourself 6 months, keep your attorney costs down, know what you're doing. What section of the charter you're looking at, and it's all right here. And he's willing to meet with us as an ad hoc committee and talk to this pro bono with those strings attached.
That's wonderful.
And I mean,
So for the next meeting, as long as Mr. Denault follows through, you'll have that in advance. I'll give it to you. His letter of interest to appear before us as a potential attorney. And I'm going to make sure I can work with there are 2 more, at least 2 more. And if anyone of you have something, I say contact with, you'll be in contact, we'll be glad to do it. Point me in the direction, but we got to talk to at least 3 people. If you're comfortable, and you'll be surprised.
not that all my city attorney.
John, this is a beauty, it would be very good, but I think we're gonna have a hard time with John. John is one of the attorneys that I reached out to have him in the
He's busy.
yeah, so he, but he said the same story.
And maybe that's why I didn't even get a letter of interest.
On the phone, when I talked to him, I just said, dude, I talked to him, I love it. I've done this, and I'm really good at it, obviously, and I believe, but I wanted a letter of interest here so we can all view it and say, yeah, we do want to talk to this guy, we don't want to talk to this.
The committee of the whole is also possible for your presentation.
Oh,
Right.
yeah,
So I think that's a better idea.
That's, I think, yeah, we made, and any other attorney that, you know, the community or whatever, if you designate a date, and I know it's tough to put it today, I'm trying to say this is your day, but please, to set it up, that's, yeah, we meet on Tuesdays.
I didn't realize we were gonna meet twice a month.
You set a date and a time, and you tell them there's a fee. If they get hired, they're gonna be here, I guarantee you.
This isn't even their current schedule. Most people don't have court cases. 6:30 at night.
Not anymore.
And it should be all of us with it. I think your intention with Master was just like a pre-meeting.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you'd come here. I don't know.
Absolutely, I'd be shocked.
You could go through the same thing. You give an hour and a half.
So do we want to shoot for the next time we meet to have them come in?
You can designate you by way of time
Is that
slots.
shoot
I
soon?
think it might be too soon, because I wanna make sure, because you're looking at what, December 28th?
And it's
Do
to be
you
a
wanna-
stretch of a holiday.
Well, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I
Oh,
put
yeah.
myself, but I'm not gonna be there.
If Master will want to meet with us on the 28th, I'd love to meet with them then.
That would be January 11th would be our next meeting.
Because we should talk to them before we meet with any attorneys.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna help us. But for the pitfall.
I actually would look forward to, based on what he said he wants to give us, I would look forward to that.
Yeah, you
And
want to
he can be
listen to
active
this
guidance.
person before you bring it, get your RFPs.
Yeah, that's whole intention, is listen to this guy. You think I would come up in 20?
We won't be like that.
I don't know, are we or not? But it's-
Anybody opposed to canceling our 20 meeting and moving our next meeting to January 11th?
I didn't think people would be too.
No,
It's gonna be very hard for me to beat.
I think it's a great idea because it's the holiday, right?
So is that, you want to bring skip in on the level?
I think that's fair.
Plenty of time for everybody.
And then we give us more time to seek out more potential attorneys for a future date after that.
Yeah.
Or you can buy it. Now you can talk about somebody this.
You could read this and he talked about the county charter act, about adopting it by reference in bylaws. And obviously we have our bylaws. But the point is, he's saying you don't have to reinvent the wheel. He's trying to save us money and time and those types of things. He's been through this. So you might, he says in here what he attached. So you can go to that and look at that, gives you a chance to, come up to speed, because I've never done this before. I've read charters, I've never had to rewrite one.
I think it's fair, it's what the time slot idea, if we do decide to move forward with time slot idea, but especially if we're coming through the holidays, we'll have more time to get additional options. And so we do have to like create a fair number to want to go ahead and bring people through. And if the people are feeling extremely giving for whatever reason after the holidays, they'll probably be more inclined to come in January and be back home and be back into the work week and have their schedule already kind of.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I just wanted, reached out to some attorney that is responding to the law professor. Unfortunately, most of her law contacts are in Illinois, Massachusetts. But she did reach out to some Michigan colleagues. I talked to one person who was a professor at Wayne State who does constitutional law. He wasn't able to do it, he recommended back to MNL, so that doesn't help. And then I have a call into another attorney, but he's in West Michigan, so again, I don't think he's gonna have a whole lot of contacts on this side of the state, but I will, for due diligence, try to speak into it.
Absolutely. And Troy did some work with their charter some time ago. That I recommended to the committee. I'm not sure how. What I said to was John Cruz, he does the constitutional method, and I mentioned this because the distance would be a factor.
Sure.
So it needs to be a local attorney. So that's why Oakland and Macomb, Wayne perhaps, not really good waters into that. But Oakland and Macomb make a lot of sense. John Cruz does a lot of does constitutional cafe. He deals with people with Detroit charter, somebody that would probably be a good person to contact and have present over here because constitutional cafe that he wants, he does it. Yeah, I think it's I believe as well as something that's just as passionate to the fellow attorney. So I think having a list of a few names makes absolute sense so that you just need to be comfortable with.
Do you want to make that motion about canceling the December 28th meeting?
Sure.
I'll second.
I move to cancel the December 28th meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
We get on to see you guys next time. I will see you guys next year.
I'll send you a call.
Watch the tape.
There you go.
Motion to cancel, take one second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Madam Chair, so if I make sure I understand, Skip Massaroni then will come in on January 11th. That meeting, walk us through the process, share what he knows. And we all have this in our packet. I know that several of the other commissioners have spoken to me. I spoke to John Starn and Chris today, recommended by the City of Rochester Hills, and Chris Johnson of Michigan Municipal League. So we have quite a few options. So after the January 11 meeting, then we would look at our stack of interested attorneys and then make a plan to bring in three of them. Or three or four
I would just be, you never know how many to get.
I agree.
at a future meeting then, to present to this commission.
One thing we may want to look at, and I remember we did it here, because at least I work and probably half of us work. We're gonna be able to work 8 or 9 hours. We're gonna come in here at 6:30 and start going through people, and we're gonna be so darn tired by the end of 9 o'clock, because I quit, this is the last guy, because I want to go home. We may want to do a Saturday morning, and it works out really well, you're nice and fresh. You do a Saturday morning, you finish for 45 minutes for attorney, and they come in, and they go, they come in, and they go. You could do 4 or 5 people by noon, you go home. So just keep that in mind versus, I'm so tired, I don't remember what the last guy said. So, I think you know that, this is gonna happen, if we work 8 or 9 hours, it's 5:15, I get up at 5:15, it's like,
So
most of you probably
the
do sit there.
answer, Brad, the answer to your question is yes, that's how we're gonna.
But yeah, like,
And then we'll just decide later, once we figure out how many.
exactly. We will,
Tell Karen I said hello.
I will, you want to take your minutes? Please.
Okay, so we'll make sure that that's how the agenda is set for next meeting.
So Skip will be, I'm gonna work that out.
So any other commissioner comments? I think we're gonna talk about emails now.
Well, wasn't he gonna talk about it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Talk about what?
What emails?
You know, so.
Yeah, we wanted to
here's-
talk about
here's
it,
the scoop about emails. August was, I think, initially unaware of the fact that there was some money already allocated for this commission. He's not aware of it, which means that it costs $75, which I don't know, I guess it sounds absurd to me, but.
Me too.
Okay.
Per person, that's crazy, that's crazy.
In the age of Gmail, that's absurd. Nonetheless, it doesn't, the cost necessarily doesn't matter. It makes sense that you have emails, you got nothing else but for that purposes, because you don't want your personal emails associated, be able to be subject to monitoring.
Couldn't we just make our own Gmails, like separate emails that, would be great, like Samantha, Charter
Well,
Commission.
Part
email
of the
them.
reason that, part of the reason, the value of the city email would be the ease with which August would be able to respond to FOIA requests, because he would have access to it.
Sure.
So don't think, $75, absurd as it is a small cost for the ability to conduct business in the normal fashion, but it can do like the commission business.
The other ease is if residents want to contact us, they probably could say, send to all versus your Gmail, I'm Comcast, he's Huawei. Type their darn addresses. They may want to send something else saying, people are doing a fine job or you're doing a lousy job and I can't wait to recall you. Or like I said, it's $75 to me is crazy talk, but I brought up last time, I don't want my private email for you.
No, I agree.
So you're talking $675
For a year.
for the 9,
Right. Yeah, 9 was, yeah.
And then what I
which would
was
come out of the
thinking
budget, come out of
email address with the same, like, maybe
Samantha, I understand, but
but.
there's benefit to, when people say, how do I get checks with the charter commission, it's like, let me go to their website, and they, oh, make that check.
Would this be would this be with our budget?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I do like the idea of one nice clean email where all of this information, we get all of our agendas, all the documentation. We need to share information that we found with each other,
That's the key as well, we can share them among ourselves.
without us having to look through and,
Or send it to August, and then we'll send it out to us, and,
Correct. Because, the sharing of information also, one of the things, I know that's not, but one of the issues is we're always obviously the Open Meetings Act, so, which means that once we get to quorum sharing, it becomes a little problematic, so August, and then August will distribute it, it makes perfect sense.
Madam Chair, do we need to direct August to set up email for us, or is that already been
So you
decided?
direct, just make a motion directing, and then give somebody a second, and vote on it. and-
Got it.
Do we want to wait till Lake is back?
Yeah.
No, it's one of those.
No, he's gone.
We're just about to direct. We don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Motion, Madam Chair, I motion that we direct the city clerk to set up city email accounts for each of the charter commission members.
All in favor, say aye.
Uh, Quick question.
Do you want to wait for?
That's what
I'm sorry, I did not hear that.
Yeah,
I'm
let's.
sorry, I think the dog is
let's-
well.
You speak so softly and you.
It wasn't even me who said
Whoever said it, I think we.
Yeah, let's
Let's wait for her to come back.
What we said, I think what we said was, we only need 5 votes, there's more than 5 votes here.
Yeah, but she's here, that's why I hate to,
it. Yeah.
I hate to ignore her vote, and she's,
Right. So we'll wait
so
till she comes
moved by
back.
Erwin, supported by Answer Me, so we'll wait for the vote.
Give her a few minutes. Did anybody have anything else? Because we can come back to that.
Madam Chair, was August also going to talk to us about, I heard him use the word recording or live stream.
He was going to discuss that too. He did say that. He found
So
some
here's the
information.
information to say that to the extent that I had this like conversation. We figured out, we had a conversation with MLive because they're recording council boards. They determined they would be able to do to record, have somebody here at our meeting, also be $295 per meeting. Okay, that's usually someone quickly that the city codes owns. So that's a cost right? So it goes to round up to $300 per meeting. Obviously, the discussion and the decision belongs to you, but you may want to consider that cost because you only have 20,000 guaranteed at this point. Council for
7,200 just for that.
Why? Well, we want to work out that public view, so that's kind of a catch-22. We can see how Laura's idea is out. Do we have anyone watching it live or?
No, we could, we don't have anybody watching it live because there is a link, but I couldn't send it because I'm currently using my hotspot on my phone. Because the other thing is the Wi-Fi in here can be choppy. And when the Wi-Fi is choppy, it just doesn't come out good and then the people viewing it really can't see it. So I'm currently using my hotspot.
Well, we thought the sound might be an issue too. I mean, with the council chambers, their mics, that's the big thing, is like.
Others did say that
We
you
wanted
could find
to
a couple
do that.
of mics, maybe that helps in that regard. I don't know if it will fit, but we did find some mics.
Well, sure, we've had mics, like we've been needed a sound mixer for doctors or something like, oh, but I don't know if you can run mics to a webcam and, you know, but. That's perfect, that's why they pay $200.
That's right, that's why they get, that's right.
So I guess we just have to, we can see how it goes and I can report, next meeting. It'll give me some time to find out more about the mics. I do know somebody who records hockey games. Maybe they have some ideas on how we could do it. But otherwise, then we would have to, if it really isn't the best quality, then I guess we would have to figure out if we really wanted to still go ahead with having that come and report.
What do you guys think about reaching out to the, I don't know what the group is called, but at the high school, they have a class, where that they do video production. They actually produce some spots that were run on air. Like they were broadcast quality spots that were produced at the high school level. Maybe they would want to do another project. Yes, they're required to have volunteer hours to graduate. So.
I don't think it would hurt to reach out to them. Do you mind reaching out to them?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. It wouldn't hurt.
I mean, they did a beautiful job on the spots for the bond, like they were, they did it on Comcast and Channel 4, like they were like, broadcast all that stuff.
So she's gonna reach out to, some Boston high school students to see if that could be possible.
I wouldn't see the other schools turning down giving the kids the option for community service, especially. It is benefit them in the long run, because I think most of the volunteer options that they have to do put on the side, or they have to do with like options club or whatever.
Right, for sure.
More research. It's just going to be good.
will this be to, or is it, can you, when you do, like, when you get our emails, can you tell us what the name is? Because I guess we should be the best judge of if this is good or enough or not. If it's good enough, I'm comfortable with it. If it's not good enough, then we need to decide as a group, like, the sake of it.
I don't believe that the sound is going to be good enough. I'm going to be honest.
Tracy, I believe you were spot on.
But I'm glad we're trying it.
That's
But
right.
no, I absolutely appreciate you for trying.
Yep.
And that's just. Yeah. But if we're able to get microphones that can help with that. I mean, it's not anything that you're doing wrong, it's just a dynamic of the room, right?
Yeah, it depends on, there's a lot of variables, it depends on a lot of things too.
This room isn't great for instance.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. So we'll put that, I'll put that on the next agenda too. Once we get our emails, I'll send it out.
You have a motion on the second.
Yeah, we had the.
You have a motion on the second.
Yes, that's right. So, Talia, while you were away, we were in the process of taking a vote. We'd like to include you in it. And, well, anyway, the vote was to go ahead and set up city emails for all of us. And,
We have a motion by Ruben, second by Councilor.
yeah, so there was a motion, there was a second, and then now we'd like to say all in favor, say aye. And then all opposed. Okay, so motion passes. Thank you.
The fee for that is, like, 77 total of our budget. And then just so we're clear, for the, as far as like open meetings act, like say, you know, Mr. O'Neill finds out some more information about an attorney. Can he email everyone, or you're saying that has to go to August and then to us to disperse information, or we can disseminate information, we just can't go back and forth?
You can't make a decision.
You can make decisions.
Okay,
So we're always in the area, obviously, when it comes to communications, back and forth,
Sure.
because, it's a natural human tendency, obviously, to add to it.
Right.
So we have to be careful, but no, as far as sending information, there's nothing to say wrong.
okay. Just wanted
I
to
would
make it
ask them.
crystal clear.
I'm sorry.
I wouldn't ask them. I just, then you avoid that, then you avoid that.
Yeah, what happens, the pitfalls, as you know, are things like, no, I don't care about this person because of X.
Right.
That's,
Right, or if I
that's,
said,
You
well, sounds
deliberate.
good, we'll vote on the next meeting, and then all of a sudden open this up to compliance.
there's some pitfalls to it, but again, the simple, the short answer, is any information you find out.
Okay.
So we have any more commissioner comments? Any public comments? No? Okay. So discussion of the next agenda items. What we have so far for the next agenda is approval of tonight's meetings minutes. We're going to be reviewing the updated bylaws. I'll let you know the recording and how it sounded. We'll talk about that. And then we're going to try to have Skip on the agenda for the 11th. Yeah, which is the next meeting. Yep.
Do you want to make the agenda item just in general, the recording and audio, and then that way I can present my findings if I have some of them equal?
Sure.
Or if anyone has any other comments. I know a lot of video editors when they work in advertising, but they are all super expensive. If I can find one of them and doing it for me, I will, but.
Okay.
And I guess following what she said is that they can't get anyone, and this doesn't work out, we should be prepared to vote on hiring, what was the name of the group?
It was MLI.
No, I'm sorry, the one that August, that does the city one.
That's MLI.
Oh, was it Emily?
That's what they said, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't catch that, I thought that's some other, okay. Be prepared to vote on, $2.95 a meeting.
And I did find out, I think, Greg asked me who does the school board meetings, and that is provided by the Oakland Intermediate School District, so that's not someone we do. So that, yeah, it's part of.
Part of your
service.
fiber optic.
Yeah.
When I was here, I thought we talked about having the one that by Rockers here, taking advantage of it. So a lot of cities do that. Especially up in the Genesee County, when you're up in the middle of nowhere.
Livingston, the same way.
Yeah.
That's it.
Does anybody have anything? Think that's it? Does somebody want to? Move to adjourn? Want to adjourn?
Yes.
Hold on, hold on.
So I'll make it work. Madam Chair, I move to adjourn the meeting
Would you just the time it is?
at 7:56 p.m.
Is there a second?
That's it.
So moved by Ansel, Lee, second by Parker.
Meeting is adjourned.
You might want to call
Oh,
it. All in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
And if you hang a quick second, August is printed, you send your text, it's printed and comes with your charts.
Oh, fantastic. I may have something new for my.
You're adjourned.
Thank you for 3 room on mine.
Andrea, thank you for being our public.
Oh, no problem.
We appreciate you. You're on the plan. Yay.
Then you gotta come
Remember,
every meeting.
January 11th is the next one.
Yeah, next time we'll be.
There you are.
So nice smile at you. You're, I looked at that, you didn't recognize me, but I don't have my
Service.
Thank you.
For